That smile, man. It's hard to follow if you're a good guy or a bad guy, bro. Like, it really becomes difficult to follow whether you're a
Who
good
am
guy
I
or a bad guy when
fighting?
you... The Sky Ray.
A manta ray. Sky. They're
They
annoying
swim
as
in
crap.
the ether.
You're not wrong in that statement. I responded. I was like, okay, well, I guess. Yeah. All these can see me. I don't want to fight with these things around because they will attack me with either. So if I get like this right now, I don't want to fight all these things.
Yeah.
And they got spike on them, so forget that. That's a big old skip.
Now you can tell they have spike just because of that purple thing that was on their name.
Yep,
Okay.
that's the indicator for spike. Found that out by
Interesting.
looking at the tutorial.
Oh, did you know?
Yep,
You
very helpful.
weeb. Taking
I
the
feel like-
safe route.
I read my tutorials beforehand.
I jump head first. So
When there were manuals in video games, I'm like, well, better look at this first.
Not me. I jumped straight on in and figured it out as I went.
How many times you died?
In Horizon, just along the way, I died a lot of times just for like stupid, like things like I might accidentally fall to my death or something because I was trying to take a shortcut down the mountain. I had a lot of deaths like that, but as far as like the monsters or like the machines and the humans go, only a few of the machines actually killed me a significant amount of time. Like the first time I encountered the Rex, I died because I wasn't like used to his attack patterns. So like he had the forward charge where then he 180s really fast, and then he'll charge like shortly after. I died to that a lot because I would dodge the initial charge, and then when he 180'd, I would be trying to shoot him, and then he would just charge me again, and I would die because I had like I wasn't technically a high enough level to really be fighting him because my health was extremely low. But once I started figuring out the patterns and stuff for the enemies, like it was nice. It was nice and smooth sailing. I actually didn't even die on the final mission of the game. I had no deaths. I completed it all on the first try.
So my thing is, I think the biggest problem I had was corruptors.
The corruptors were
It's mainly
annoying,
because they're
but
so mobile.
yeah, but if you just hit them, like if you overheat them, they're extremely easy.
Yeah, until there's two of them.
Even when there were two of them, they were actually for some reason when I fought the two of them along the like when you had to push into your homeland after what's his name, Helis sent the invasion to your homeland. When there were two corruptors there, and for some reason they were only fighting me one at a time. Like if I knocked one down, the other one would like change in, like switch in type deal, but I was always only fighting one at any particular point. Like for some reason they didn't fight me simultaneously. But yeah, I just overheated those machines and then struck I guess the cooling vents on them. I guess that's what you could call them, because they only popped out when they were overheated. And like I said, it was smooth sailing. I had no deaths on that entire final section of the game as far as storyline goes. Literally all my deaths came from exploration. Like I didn't die through any of the story related events at all.
I do want to make a comment. The idea of like, because you read all those little reports and things they had in the game about like, okay, so this is the situation, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like all those little lore tidbits. When they start talking about the freaking like machines that are just eating stuff to survive, and it gets to that point where they're like, yeah, they just ate a whole pod of dolphins, I'd be like, turn them off.
Turn them off, right?
Turn them off now.
Turn them off. Like, what do you mean?
It's not gonna get better. from here.
Yeah, right. Like I didn't understand what Pharaoh was thinking with this. Like, my dude, they consume biomass.
And makes themselves.
Like, what were you thinking? He was like, I wasn't expecting a glitch. It's a machine. Of course they glitch. Nothing's perfect.
Where do you go? Ah!
Oh, is this one of those?
No, I actually need to go up this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was necessary.
I thought we were doing something special.
No. But yeah, that was the part I was like, nah, y'all got what you deserved.
Bro. And then it was crazy because
And during that whole entire time of them talking about like, oh yeah, we found a way to save, I was like, there's no way they found a way to save you with the world as it is now. Something happened. And it was just like, oh yeah, we just convinced you guys to go here, but yeah, humanity is pretty much doomed.
Yeah, we're beyond unsavable. Elizabeth was like, you have to be like a next level genius though to
basically start back life after the planet can't sustain anything.
Yes, like hey, since we kind of fucked up this bad, which wasn't really a we, it was more like a you, but like I have a solution, and you know, you guys aren't gonna like it, but it's the only one you've got. Like,
this is no longer about the continuation of our lives. It's the continuation of our race, and actually the entire planet.
And that was the crazy thing. I was like, how can they be against it? Like, in that sense, like,
because it's really hard for people to think past themselves, and now you're gonna tell people like, no matter what you're gonna do, you will lose. This is not a war to win. The whole idea was everyone had this whole idea like, okay, this weapon will help us win the war. It's like, no, this war is lost. You're just stalling.
Yeah. But it was like, bro, I don't know. If I was in that situation, I would have been like, look, I'm all for it, fam. Like, if there's no saving us, like, go, I'm all for it.
At least save something.
Exactly. Let me save something. Let me redeem myself before I die. Let me give some type of hope to the cause.
But not just the idea of like, okay, yeah, this thing, Gaia will recreate the Earth. Here's a plan just in case it messes that up and we have to reboot again.
And that was the greatest thing. It was like, hey, so just in case, you know, because we don't expect her to make it right on the first try. We have a failsafe that'll just eradicate the world again if need be, and then she'll just start over.
Yep.
And that was great.
I just want to know what happened. I just want to, like, that's not explained on what happened, and I need to know.
Wait, what do you mean?
The Hades part is never explained.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so basically, what happens is how was it explained? So there was supposed to be a certain amount of protection. I think it was like 10 millimeters or something like that. So a certain amount of seal for encoding to get put into, for encoding to be received, right, from Gaia. What happened was somehow the encoding was basically sealed off improperly by, I think, instead of it being, it doesn't explain who did it.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, what in the world happened for someone to send off a signal so this thing is like, okay, it's time to just eradicate the world?
Yeah, I'm not sure who did it, but how it happened was...
How is it explained? I want to know who.
Yeah, that is the question.
Because it just goes
what I
to
didn't understand about it was, okay, so Elizabeth, she dies saving the group, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because she had to seal. She had to close a door, right, or something like that.
She closed the door. Yeah, so they could stay.
She had to close the door.
Yep.
But I don't know. That is the confusing part.
Because it's like, okay, so now problems are still happening for the second one, but it's like we got to go to another part of the world for it, or not another part of the world. We're going to another part of the country because we're still in the U.S.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, elephants.
You mean giant machine elephants?
And there's still people in this part of the world too. So what are What have they been doing? All right, so now we're getting into the whole thing about like, yeah, you can't cut people with it. Part of the plan for it.
Yes, it was this constraint that gave rise to Faced Mechon. Mechon which cannot be destroyed by the Monado.
This is beginning to wear thin.
He tried so hard.
Man, like really good at that aerial.
Oh yeah,
evasive
he's great.
maneuvers.
Now, where is it? Where's this power coming from? That? So he's come out to play. That's cheating. Can't have that. This is gonna be good.
There's a level of knowledge they just don't tell anybody.
My
Like the
Right.
Mechon just know more, and they're like, yeah, we understand.
Sansa.
These shackles. They must be the reason the Monado can't hurt people as well. Does that have something to do with the Faced Mechon?
You must find that out by yourself. I will remove those shackles for you. But you must take the Monado and free me from this prison. Free me, and the Monado will cut down anything you wish. Nothing but a god can stand in your way.
He walks up there so quickly. I don't care what nobody says at this
Revenge!
point.
Something's not right. The forefathers must have had good reason to seal him.
I need that power. I thought you of all people would understand.
I do, but it's just...
Hold on a minute. He only said he'd release this new power. Sounds like a good idea to me.
That's 'cause you're an
Fine.
idiot.
Yeah, like,
Please understand.
power.
That's what I set out to. The Mechon must pay.
Melia's over here like, listen, man, I get it, but think about it.
And it's like, I don't want to think. I want revenge.
Shulk is so ready to just like, I will give up everything for revenge. I'm like, alright. Whee!
And just tossed her like a
Young
rag doll.
Shulk, I will not force you. I ask for nothing in return. It is your choice.
I will.
What if he had killed him instead?
Huh. Yeah, but he's living, so it couldn't happen.
Heir to the Monado. Your will shall be done. Let the shackles be released.
Oh,
This party's over.
One hell of a spear throw.
Sansa!
he's really good at being a bother.
Right.
He is so good at being like, I'm gonna ruin
What do you think of our
everything.
leader's gift?
How did you know we'd be here?
What's that? The poor insects are a little confused. We're here for the old fool. If he's dead, he can't power up the Monado. You being here's just an added bonus. Huh?
A silver-faced Mechon.
Zanza? Respond, Zanza. I know you can hear me.
I sense thought waves.
Zanza, how many more will you sacrifice?
Who are you to talk to me? How dare you? You know nothing.
I am here to talk, Zanza.
Oak's not, though.
You will pay for what you've done!
Oak's definitely not here to talk to anybody.
You no harm.
Give us back Fiora! Give her back!
Man, attacking the wrong one.
Stay out of the way, boy!
Shulk!
Weak and pathetic.
Ragdolled. Every time he sees this man, he goes at least 15 feet in the wrong
Every
direction.
time.
Stupid buck.
Melia!
Look at you. Worthless without the Monado. Isn't that right, young man?
What or who are you? How do you know me?
Let's see if this jogs your memory.
He moves like... But that's impossible! Gunban!
Cease immediately. They are not our target.
Any final words?
That man's like, I don't care. I'm gonna kill them all.
Who dares?
Stop at once! Mechon! Emperor!
Father!
Are you hurt, Melia?
I wouldn't stop shooting lightning bolts till he stopped glowing.
Right?
Like, no. Forget that.
You're gonna pay for that. You bag of bones!
Melia!
Just saying, if she was out of range there, I would have just dodged also.
Looks like he's had his wings clipped. Did you really expect to beat me?
Emperor! I failed you.
Heir to the Monado.
Sansa! You're alive! Give me the power I need!
I am now a mere shell. The power is already yours.
What?
The shackles have been broken. Wield the sword.
I just did that light show because it was fancy looking.
Think of your enemy, and the power to defeat them is yours.
Oh. Like, what was that about?
About just descending into, I guess, pure ether.
Mechon. It's not over. The people of Bionis will never let you triumph.
Let's go. Yes! It looks so much cooler!
It's changing form!
Be careful. We cannot withstand such power.
Shulk!
Y'all been bugging me all this game, thinking, oh man, he can't hurt us. Well, hurt the dirt. Now y'all all are gonna die. Got my achievement. take that aggro. Dunban, take the aggro. Help. Thank you. Oh yeah, y'all can't do. Wow, you actually made him go down. Like, wait a minute. By yourself. Dunban does not care. Like,
Dunban's like, I don't even need you, Shulk. I've been holding myself back until you got powered up.
oh, you finally caught up, huh? Okay.
Guess it's time for me to show you my true power.
Guess now I can get serious. It's like, are you serious?
Why are you
Very
racist,
high up there.
man?
Are we all days? We are all
Yep,
days.
you are all days.
It's alright. The moment we all get better. Heal Dunban. No? Get back in there.
Man, missed the killing claw. Ain't that something? You missed the killing shot.
Get you! What do I want to do? I won't get that much damage on him, but he'll be down. Out. If I can do the days. Get to the side.
You still haven't moved your arts around?
Nope. I'm done though. This battle's done. I want to make it so that, yeah, they eventually just go in a solid line on one side and the other side's for everything extra.
Yeah.
Like, I need to move days right next to my little Monado circle. So I just activate it.
What? Look at him! The Monado has changed!
Good. Now you feel it. Swing the blade to your heart's content.
Wait. Is this what you truly desire, Zanza?
I see now. It is as I suspected. You exist outside the pre-established harmony.
Is that... Hans? No way. Fiora. Fiora. You're still alive.
Zanza, you have not changed at all. That is clear. But still, I cannot...
Do as you please.
Fiora!
That makes the first
One-
one's like,
Yeah, the
Hold up.
one time you see Dunban not compose himself.
he's like, I don't blame him though.
Returning to base.
Would anyone?
No, he can't be blamed for this one.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, I saw my sister die, and I told everyone it'll be okay.
But next time, I'll slice you in two.
And then it's like, oh, she's still alive? Yo,
It's me! Shulk! Fiora!
like I can understand why all three of them are just so distraught, because like that was our friend or our family.
Right.
Oh yeah, this dude's dying.
I'm surprised he's not dead yet, bro.
Oh, he's holding on.
It's like the conversation that the fourth Hokage had with his son while he died.
Just never ending. I mean, aren't you?
Why? Why did this have to happen?
Like an anime trope.
Exactly.
Organs are just dangling outside your body. I have to tell you my story
The hope.
Exactly. I had to
over
give you
multiple
everything.
episodes. And then leave off on a cliffhanger on something super important that I probably should have started with. Like, are you serious, sir?
You really doing this
Why
right
does it
now?
have to be me? If all it takes is to be half Homs.
Is that what you think?
You are very much mistaken.
But...
To become the hope of the High Entia is a fate that you choose for yourself. As long as you remember this, it is certain that you will be worthy of that name. But remember this also. It is not because you are the hope of the High Entia that I love you. It is because I love you. That I wish for you to become that hope. Heir to the Monado, I leave the sword in your hands. The sword that my forefathers sealed away. With it, you can succeed.
Your Majesty.
Melia, cry for as long as you must. But when your tears are dry...
Kind of popped up there for a second.
Yeah.
Father, no!
Melia, come with me.
Shulk,
You'll have plenty of time to think about your empire and your people's hopes. If you need me, I will be at your side. But you are an individual. You are Melia Antiqua. And you can't let them get away with this.
I mean, he's just pulling everybody into his revenge trope.
I know, right? I know you've got a whole kingdom to probably run now that you're empress of it and all. But revenge, though.
But
what about this revenge I'm selling? I'm like, oh.
This man here. You can't let them get away with this. Forget your people for the time being. Revenge! Hate!
It's terrifying.
Kill them!
Well played indeed, Zanza.
I do what is necessary for the world.
I could very easily have stood in for you.
Your sentiment is appreciated. I see a storm on the horizon.
So what all is this man capable of is my question. This man just said, I could have stood in and taken that spear for you. Like, what do you mean? What are you guys? Like, at this point, are you guys even, like, human? Or, like, do you guys actually have lifespans? Like, what are you?
What do you mean? I'm really confused on that one.
He said I could have stood in for you. Like,
yeah, but it's like this question you said, like, do they have lifespans? Like, what?
Like, what is, like...
Are you saying they
is he
might
capable
be
of death? Like, does his life actually have an end? Is he capable of death?
Who, Zanza, dude?
Either one of them. Clearly, Zanza's not capable of death in some way, shape, or form. I don't know what
I mean, I guess if you consider living as Sparkles not dying.
I mean, if he can still speak to the living, what, are you really dead?
I mean, I guess. I mean, we're no more than our thoughts, so I guess in that case, yeah, you are alive. But I think I still
my man's
want to, like...
literally said, I could have stood in for you. Like, what do you mean you could have stood in for me? I just took a spear through the chest and played dead, practically.
What to do about the mecha?
So what does he have? Like, what could he have possibly stood in for? Like, what is he gonna cash a visual hallucination?
Do you suggest an
like, you see my question here. Like, how do you stand in his place in that moment?
I don't know, because I'm pretty sure that spear would have just gone right through him.
It would have obliterated him. The spear was twice his size.
It was more than twice. The spear was about as thick as him, is the problem.
Exactly, so how do you stand in that? Like, yeah, let me take your place next time. I got you. All you had to do was ask. That statement doesn't bother you in the slightest?
Because of empty belly.
Ricky,
Hmm?
you already ate.
No.
I was like,
Us Lords don't get
how did that
because
statement
we're
not bother
hungry.
you in the slightest?
Because I played this game.
You know what, Jordan? I'm tired of you. In
I
the
know.
stream.
Got to get our hands off this somehow.
I mean, in a second, yeah.
Dunbar's locked himself away ever since we came back. Is it because of the girl who was operating that mech on?
Melia, how are you?
What do you mean? If you're
What do
talking
you
about
mean?
Father, I'm
Am I
fine.
in mourning? More than likely, I
have no
just can't
choice but
process
to
it
look
right
to the
now.
future.
You're stronger than me, Melia.
Do not mock me. More importantly, it is time you tell me who she is.
We've known her all our lives. We thought she was killed in Colony 9.
I mean, we did kind of see it with our own eyes, so.
I mean, yeah, like, there was blood and all. And Schultz over here, like, I saw it twice. Technically 3 times if you take the first time he has a vision.
Yeah.
She didn't even recognize us. She's not the Fiora I remember.
It looked a lot like Fiora. But if it was her, then I can't imagine how Dunban feels.
What did he mean?
Fiora is Dunban's sister.
I didn't know. Is this Fiora important to Shulk?
Important? She's more than important. She's the reason we're out here.
You missed the question, dummy.
If that really was Fiora, why didn't she reply to me? Fiora. I'd better talk to Dunban. He'll know something.
Yeah, what could he possibly know about the situation that you don't? But I guess when you're used to going to the guy with all the answers, like, I guess that is your natural, your natural go-to. But it's like, I don't even see how he could have answers at this point.
Dunban, I'm having a problem. My sister's dead. Leave me alone.
My sister died and isn't dead. Like,
yeah.
What do you want from me?
You
what
think
do you want
you
from
need
me
advice?
Right
Console me.
Could you imagine if Dunban hadn't gone on this journey with him?
Be a lot less cool.
Well, yeah, I give you that. They would have had a lot more issues because he smooth talked his way out of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I've been looking for you. So this is where you were.
Shulk. Apologies. Was everyone worried?
Of course. Me especially.
Hmm?
It's just... I've been thinking about Fiora. And I can't help wondering.
Wondering what?
You saw how Fiora acted. It was like she didn't even recognize us.
Yes. It's unsettling. But Shulk, don't get me wrong. I'm not sad. Even if she doesn't recognize me, I'm glad to know she's alive.
Dunban...
You see, Fiora was born many years after me. And, not long afterwards, we lost our father to a mechon. It was left to me to protect and raise her, almost like a father.
I was always jealous that she had you as her brother.
Ah yes. You and Fiora used to be inseparable.
Yeah.
I need to tell you something. I always thought, if Fiora were to be with anyone, it should be you.
What? But Ryan hangs out with her just as much as me.
Yeah, he does.
But Fiora doesn't like him in that way.
Oh. I see.
He's a nice guy. Reminds me of myself when I was his age. All reckless.
I highly doubt that.
Probably why he's not.
You know, I don't.
I highly doubt that. There's no way this man was an idiot back in his day.
I don't know, actually.
It doesn't matter that she's lost her memory.
I can kind of picture it. Like, with how Ryan looks now, I kind of thought, I was like, yeah, this dude's just dumb. But it's more like Dunban's gone through more. Like, Dunban's almost, like, if not 30.
Help me,
You think so?
I can imagine at the
Wait, that
age
means
of 18.
he was grown when his sister was born.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's go tell the others.
Like, he is a full-grown adult. I think he's 30, almost in his 30s. I'll check in a second. But, like, I know he's a lot older than the others.
Yeah, I know that. I mean,
Hey, they're back.
But, like,
Have you gathered
Shulk
your
and Ryan are
thoughts?
18.
exactly.
Sorry to be a nuisance.
I can, yeah, Shulk and Ryan are 18.
You too?
Yep.
All thanks to Dunban.
Charla
I'm
is
glad.
20. Ricky is 40. And I think Fiora was the same age as them.
Summons you.
You think something's happened?
We won't know until we get there.
And I can't remember how old Melia is. In a second. I can check it right now.
He's 30. Dunban is 30.
What?
Dunban is 30.
How'd you see that?
I looked it up.
You legitimately just looked it up?
Yeah.
How dare you? You could have spoiled yourself, you turd.
I just looked up his age. How is that spoiling myself?
Okay, 18, 18, 40, 21, 30, 88.
She's 88? Holy shit. Is she out here thinking about being with Shulk? Oh, she's a pedo. 88 years old. You're his grandmother's age.
They age slower. So at that point, I mean, I imagine it's like, okay, so let's say Baby Yoda becomes teenage Yoda. So that'll be around the time he's like, you know, in his hundreds.
Yeah.
Should at that point he only date people who are over 100 years old? Because I mean, if he's dating a 100-year-old woman, he's still robbing the cradle.
Yeah, true.
So
these age differences shouldn't exist. They need a hyperbolic time chamber. That's what they need.
I don't think Shulk take that long. Yeah.
Alright, so what are we doing now?
I need to get through this part real quick, where we get through these, and then we get into the actual ice area, and then we are full on done. And that shouldn't take any more than like 5-ish minutes. And that catches us actually all the way up. Congratulations.
I apologize for calling you at short notice. It's fine. Is anything wrong?
I must apologize to you all. Forgive our hubris. We High Entia were arrogant enough to idly sit behind our defenses, safe in the knowledge that Mekonis lies a great distance from our land, and we were wrong. Our decision to ignore the Mekon assault on your homeland was wrong.
Your Highness, does this mean...
Yes, Shulk. We will face the dangers ahead together.
Brother.
Which leads me to my request. After setting eyes on a group consisting of Homs, Nopon, and High Entia alike, I realized an allied army must be formed. I ask that you act as ambassadors for the assembly of this force.
My revenge
Tell
being
me
put
your
on
thoughts,
hold?
Shulk.
To save people? Not in my world.
Before I make a decision.
I like how Shulk like continuously tries to tell himself, I'm doing this revenge so no one else has to die. It's like, nah, man. You're doing this revenge because people died.
I do not believe that to be true.
Then why?
Shulk has other people to consider.
Oh, I'm sorry, sister. You can't get down like that.
So yeah, take that into account.
That wasn't like you, Shulk.
Melia is 88 years old.
Mhm.
You know you can talk to me.
Her mom is
Fiora.
dead.
That's why you're hesitating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? You don't get to see your kid grow up.
I mean, she kind of did,
don't
right?
know.
She wasn't murdered. She just
Yeah, but like
know,
you don't get to see
witnessed her kid never,
Find her,
age.
Shulk.
be becoming an adult. Like where Melia is right now, she'd be about the same age as Shulk. She's 18.
I used to believe my
Yeah.
father did not love me. Until
So
the
it's
day
like
he
that's
died.
all you got was her teenage years. How long
Do
was
not
that
grasp
puberty?
the importance of loved ones until
Oh,
after
that
they
must
are
have been
gone.
a struggle
That is
for the
simply too late.
male versions. Like, could you imagine being stuck in that phase?
For like 80 years?
Exactly.
Or like whatever, 50 years of it? Like, yeah, alright. You're just angsty all the time.
Right.
For her myself. The burden should
And then
be mine.
just as bad for it's even worse for the
I want her back as
adulthood
much as
of
you.
the
Leave the
females.
ambassador
Because
stuff
you
to me,
imagine
Shulk.
like,
I'll probably make a mess of it.
Yeah,
But we
whew,
it's not fun.
I'm afraid
Not
it is
fun
my
at
duty,
all.
mine. I am of both High Entia and Hom's blood. I am
You
the
think
crown
High
princess
Entia go through
and of
menopause?
mixed heritage. Thus,
I don't know, they're
I am
birds.
destined to carry out
exactly.
That means
I
we
mean,
won't-
they're still like they're just like
Yes.
they're such a strange
I will
hybrid,
remain
bro.
here.
Like
we must say goodbye.
these questions.
Is that what you really want? Yes. But promise me, when you find her, you'll come back. I'll be here waiting for you.
I don't know what to say. Thank you.
Oh, this is the part where he's like, "Hey, I demand that you go with them."
It's
Make
probably
your
a good
love
idea
interest
if
a
I go
thing.
and tell Callian myself.
I am sure he already understands. Besides, it's likely that the ministers are harassing him at this present moment. We should spare him any further inconvenience.
Then this is goodbye.
Yes. Come back as soon as you can. We are in great need of your help.
Got it.
Imagine, I don't even know all the human people that are like the Homs people that are still alive, but I'm suddenly gonna be the ambassador for all of them. like, could you imagine? Like, he comes back down to the Homs world and he's like, "I'm your ruler."
I'm your voice.
You're still here.
And that
What
voice
I say
says
goes.
revenge.
Have you had someone that died? Yeah, my brother was killed. Did you kill the culprit? No, we're going to do that. That is our entire life's journey right now.
Yeah. But remember, the longer he's away, the more chance his feelings for you will fade. But once we find this Fiora, I will personally whisk him back here in a heartbeat. Don't give up. I appreciate it.
You know, it's hilarious how everyone who doesn't know about Fiora is like, nah, Melia, you should be with Shulk, and Shulk should be with you.
Right.
And I'm just like,
Brother?
I feel the same way. Because how much time did we spend with Fiora?
Just on your way out,
Like
I see.
zilch.
It's
Like
not
a
worth it.
day's worth of time?
30 minutes worth of time, maybe?
Basically, in
They
real
had
life,
a
yeah.
lunch
We must
and then literally.
decline.
Saw you get stabbed.
See?
Yep.
Very well.
Whereas, I get it, Shulk spent his whole life with them, but I'm like, I don't care about her. I've spent more time with, like, Melia.
Right.
So it makes more sense.
There's
To
two
me.
Melias.
There's 2 Melias.
I'm glad he can count.
This Melly smell different.
Yes. We need Melia to learn
But
more
my
of
thing
the
is,
lands
it's
of
like,
Ionis,
these
but she's still
like
bound to handle public
upgraded
matters.
scenes
Hence,
with like the facial
another
expressions,
Melia.
it's like, okay, you can
Callian.
tell he does care about Fiora. It was a really
Yeah.
static face, like, okay, it's just my friend. But it's like, nah, there's ways that he looks at her, he's like, okay, you
Crown Princess.
actually have feelings for her, and she really has feelings
As
for
your
you.
humble
And
subject,
it's like,
Yeah.
okay,
formally
whatever.
request the following.
Still, Melia's better.
I request that you accompany Shulk in his quest to find the Mechon that attacked Alcamoth.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? Wait, this is ruining my love interest that
I
I'm
am
not
aware
really
of
pursuing.
everything. Go forth and follow your heart. There will come a day when we need you, but it is not today.
Your Highness. That means a lot to me. That is one cool prince.
If only someone had his sensitivity.
Sensitivity? Well, I'm sensitive.
This man can't even spell
The
sensitive.
jury's out on that one.
About as sensitive as a rock.
We have recently received a report that the silver-faced Mekon fled to Galahad Fortress, the Mekon stronghold at Sword Valley. It will be a treacherous path. My sister is in your hands.
Thank you,
If she
Callie.
doesn't make it back, we will kill
I
you.
will keep her safe.
Regent, I accept your request. I will return victorious with Shulk.
I am most pleased.
Leaving without me? Do you want to come?
To reach Galahad Fortress, you will need to travel through Valak Mountain on the right arm of the Bionis. The snow-covered mountains are fraught with danger. Those unfamiliar to them risk never coming back.
Of course you would be familiar with that region.
Then there's no point in wasting time.
Leave the Allied force to me. I am not known for my diplomacy, but call it pride. I shall succeed.
If everyone else has
you
to
as soon as we
succeed,
can.
I will not fail either.
I look forward to the day.
Although, you saying that does not make me feel very confident in your ability.
Make us
Right?
proud.
I might not be the best person for this job, but nope, someone else.
No, someone, please, anyone else.
Anybody else?
That man's
See
like,
you
you
soon,
know
Callie.
what? You don't have a choice but to join the Allied forces. And if I say no, I kill you and find someone that will say yes. That's the type of diplomacy.
Look at my full party of people, plus guest.
Plus guest.
Alright, so now can I... Yeah, I still can't. I need to be able to fast travel. That's my whole goal.
So is
gotta
that like an artificial storm out there, or is it actually storming out there?
I'm gonna say it's really storming. Might be a real rain going on over there. Granted, I don't think we were able to see outside the windows.
No, they would have
In the
all
original.
just been gray.
Yep, so that's different. But yeah, I can see outside, so that's... I can actually see it. That's weird. Look at all that. All those improvements.
What's that? Was that symbol? I missed it. Was that like the speed symbol at the bottom right, where the loading screen?
We will
I
need
can-
Oh,
to
I
enter
didn't even look.
Sword Valley if we wish to reach Galahad Fortress.
It might be the new
Colony
symbol.
6 were in better shape.
Gotcha.
We could have taken a pod from there. How are we getting there?
We will take the path down from the Bionis right arm. Sword Valley is where the arm meets the Mekonis sword.
Aha. So that's our route.
As I said earlier, it is a snow-covered mountain range, and you should expect a tough climb. Are we all ready?
Ready as we'll ever be.
Quite. First, we will head through Machna Forest. This short-range pod will be our transport. All aboard, people.
Short range pods. So you guys not have a long range pod y'all could take?
That's for the ones that aren't commoners.
How do you get in that? You actually get in and just walk up?
Yes, I don't know how. I actually don't know. I guess you can be in that thing. No, that's probably a jet in. No, it's not. You can be in that part. No, you can't, because there's no way to get in there. Maybe it's bigger. It might just be for sitting down. That might be why it's a short range pod. It's just super uncomfortable. Let's go now, because you won't let me teleport. No. Yeah, I guess you just make your way up those steps. It's probably got a ladder or something that you climb up, and then you get into that spot, and you just...
Yeah.
Granted, that's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people.